my friends, humanity is facing a major challenge with the coronavirus. I don't have to tell you. It is estimated that worldwide up to 16 million people will die. Health delivery systems will collapse. Beyond the 65 million that will die, scientists predict there will be hundreds of millions worldwide now of sick people who will not be productive for a while till they recuperate. This prediction is based on the estimate that between 50 to 70% of the population will get sick. We cannot avoid it. Out of which 80% will have just a mild flu-like sickness. Not a big deal. 17% will be badly sick and be hospitalized, but will recover. And only 3% will die. It will be those with compromised health and the old, who the cynics, and I talk to them, the heartless say, will die anyway, just sooner, so what is the panic all about? One does not have to be a rocket scientist to realize that 20% of the population of any country going to hospitals will collapse the health delivery system, and it will not be easy, it's already happening in Italy, to bury 3% of the country population wholesale. But that is not all. 80% sick, 17% feeling like they will die any minute, and 3% actually dying again. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to predict it will cause a major reduction in active customers and thus consumption. People will be staying at home to avoid getting sick. It will cause factories not to be able to produce and logistics not capable to deliver. And as revenues shrink, companies are going to fire part of their workforce, and all these changes accumulatively will cause a health crisis to be now also an economic crisis, leading to recession and predictably depression. By the way, I'm not saying anything new so far. I know, but have patience. Some people say not necessarily so. Governments and the central banks will pump billions of dollars to stimulate the economy, so we don't have economic crisis. I say good reading. It will not work because whatever money is pumped in the market will not be spent unless for immediate necessary to survive food. People will put the money under the mattress and companies in the bank. Why? Fear of the unknown. More money will not cause more spending. What will drive consumption is not how much money you have, but how confident you feel, how safe you feel. But when the coronavirus is defeated, hopefully soon, eventually it will, that money will be used to buy, invest. And just imagine those unused trillions of dollars in the market. Potential outcome? A serious inflation. The money is already in the market to be used, while to increase supply will take time. And the government being now in serious national deficit for pumping those trillions of dollars in the market will have to increase taxes. So welcome to the next forthcoming serious crisis. Back to the present time. As unemployment grows and people on the lower level strata of society suffer income-wise the most, there will be social unrest, making the health and economic crisis now a social crisis too. In Santa Barbara, there is a long line in front of the store where they sell guns. People waiting to buy guns. People are arming themselves. They're expecting the unrest. Maybe the pumping of the money to the market by the government is not to stimulate economic activity so much, but to keep the population from going wild and the unrest becoming unmanageable. I believe the government cannot pump enough money to keep unrest from happening. Ancient Rome tried. The unrest will call for strong government intervention and regulation that some liberal-oriented people will consider anti-democratic and totalitarian, bordering on dictatorship. It's already happening. That will make the medical, economic, social crisis to be also a political one. In other words, the years 2020 to 2025 will be remembered and studied by generations of sociologists, economists, historians, medical researchers, political science scientists, and common men as the most memorable disaster in history, period. I hope and pray that I'm totally or even partially wrong. God help me, I'm wrong. Love to be laughed for years for being so pessimistic. But in case I'm even partially right, the question that should occupy us, leaders of companies and countries, is what are we supposed to do in light of these dire predictions? I wrote a little pamphlet in 2009 about the 2008 crisis, which I'm now giving everybody free. It's called How to Manage a Time of Crisis, and you're welcome to download it from the Adizes bookstore on the internet. I hope you find this booklet helpful. But however, it's not providing a or the, God forbid, solution. It contains just stopgap strategies. For solutions, it's time for humanity to really stop the mad rush for more, and more, that it is better. More is better. More is not better. Stop the mad rush for more, and change direction to change lifestyle and materialistic culture to better is more. Better health, better education, better protection of our environment, better international cooperation, better protection of family sanctity, better dedication to spiritual growth rather than to bank accounts, better quality of life rather than standard of living. And we make a mistake here. Many believe that the higher is the standard of living, the standard higher is the quality of life. Not so. They are not the same. As a matter of fact, may I suggest, in the last 100 years, our standard of living has gone up, but our quality of life has gone down. Our ancestors, grandparents, have been happier than we are. See for yourself. The more, quote unquote, developed the country, the more therapists and life coaches and divorces per capita than ever in the past. We are materialistically and technologically well off, but miserable. Our ancestors were poor but relatively happy, had time to enjoy life. We struggle with having a balanced life. This coronavirus crisis is reminding us what life is really all about. Sitting guaranteed. We have to face ourselves and ask a very valid question. What have we done to our little world we live in? To our environment, to our families, to our country, to our own health? What the hell was this crazy dash to catch the rainbow all about? What kind of a world are we going to inherit to our children, grandchildren? Is the answer finding a way to move to Mars, Mr. Elon Musk? We should all move to Mars maybe? To Mars? Or maybe we should slow down, change direction and fix the Earth. Review our priorities. Is the real goal to be a leader of a country, to be the biggest country, the strongest country, and be the leader of the world? Or is it to be the best place to live, the healthiest place to live, the most peaceful place to live and raise your children? What is really, really important? I pray and hope that the massive crisis we are experiencing will call for a paradigm shift in how we work, how we manage, how our economic and political systems operate, and how we can be more human than continue being money-chasing organism that destroys the physical and social environment it lives in, and doing so brings an irreversible doomsday on humanity. Coronavirus is not the end. It is the beginning, like SARS was not the end. Nature is giving us repetitive warnings. And like a good parent, if we do not listen, it increases the punishments till we do hear the message and do what needs to be done and change. Thank you.